Hello, this is Angus at the Bureau of Meteorology. It's the 16th of January. We're here to look at the weather forecast across the country for this weekend, the 17th and 18th. And there is certainly some rain and storms to keep a track of, particularly across our north and down the east coast as well. At this time of year, there are always weather systems to watch around the country. This weekend is no different. And for some parts of the north and east, it will result in quite a wet weekend. Generally, through the south and west, things are looking fairly bright. Let's start up in Queensland, and most areas north of Mackay are a risk of a shower or a thunderstorm, but it's pretty typical wet season activity up there. The rainfall has come down a little bit compared to recent days, but of course any rain that does fall, particularly out over northwest Queensland, is falling onto swollen rivers, and we'll continue to see flooding across many rivers through central and northern Queensland over the course of the weekend. A couple of showers across the east coast, not too much in it, but maybe a storm down in the far southeast from western Brisbane up into the Lockyer Valley and Darling Downs. Areas west of Toowoomba generally looking pretty bright. Now, there will be some rain across most of the New South Wales coast, and from about Newcastle southwards, including Sydney and Wollongong, we're looking at persistent showers, onshore winds, quite breezy conditions, fairly cloudy and a little bit cool. Overall, not particularly inspiring weather across this stretch of coast. Certainly hard to get the washing on the line. Could even see a couple of rumbles of thunder through some of these areas too. For the northern New South Wales coast, north of the Hunter region, perhaps a brighter and sunnier morning, and then a risk of showers and thunderstorms comes in for the afternoon. Up in the hills, we probably are seeing some showers too that could affect Canberra with some mild maximum temperatures, and on the western side of the state, pretty bright skies. There's an overall easing trend to rainfall across Victoria, but we will still see some patchy showers through the Gippsland regions on Saturday, perhaps down across the Surf Coast as well, but without that chance of heavier falls that we have seen earlier on in the week. We may even see a couple of showers through the central ranges. Melbourne shaping up for a dry day, high of 27, but could get a bit blustery there, and the winds will also be blowing fairly strongly through other northern and western parts. Easterly winds, that means winds blowing from this direction here, pushing across Tasmania tomorrow. That'll bring some cloudy skies and one or two showers to this northeastern coastline, really anywhere north of Maria Island. Hobart should stay dry, but we'll pick up a fair bit of cloud cover. Meanwhile, conditions will be a little bit warmer and a little bit sunnier across the north coast and the west coast. Bright sunny weather is expected throughout South Australia on Saturday. Temperatures are mild as well, pretty near seasonal averages. A couple of spots might be a little cool for the time of year. Do watch out for some gusty winds in from the southeast, particularly on and near the mountain ranges like the Mount Lofty and the Flinders Ranges. We could see some fairly gusty winds blowing through those regions, and that could stretch as far as Adelaide as well. We've got mostly fine weather across the majority of Western Australia, although some onshore winds will keep temperatures a little cooler than what you're used to in Perth, with a high of 25 degrees. A couple of light showers possible from Margaret River around to Albany. We could see a few inland thunderstorms through these areas here, possibly clipping Kalgoorlie-Boulder, but just a low risk at this stage. And it's continuing to be really hot over the north. We see 44 degrees in the forecast for Newman. A tropical low pressure area seen here on the map is forecast to develop tomorrow morning over the top end, and that's going to enhance rain and thunderstorms across much of the top end during Saturday, including around the Darwin area. We see the risk of some quite heavy falls as that tropical low does move closer to Darwin, potentially up to 100 millimetres or so in and around the city, and can't rule out the idea that some spots across the top end will see more rain than that. So certainly a wet one up through the Northern Territory. Most of that rain will be north of about Daly Waters or so across the southern part of the state it should be fine and warm, and we'll see some showers and storms across the Kimberley, but perhaps not getting all the way to the Broome coast. Into Sunday now, we'll just get the national overview for this one. We continue to see the chance of showers, rain or storms across almost the entire east coast and across our tropical north. So another fairly wet, gloomy day for Sydney. Brisbane, it's just the chance of a few showers. Should see some brighter weather in there. Canberra should also see some breaks of sunshine. Showers and storms possible across the north, and again we could see some heavy rain in Darwin on Sunday. Elsewhere, bright sunny skies are forecast. Melbourne 28 degrees and sunshine, Adelaide 35. Perth starting to warm up as well, 28 is the maximum for Sunday. That will be climbing even higher, potentially into the 40s by the middle of next week. If you want any more weather information throughout the weekend or the outlook for next week, find your local spot on the Bureau's website or the BOM weather app. Thanks for watching.